Hello, Dr. Wendy Rowley here, the Wonder of Human Design YouTube channel and the playlist series, How to Have a Peaceful Heart. I have a feeling I might have done 2 episodes, use the same number. And if I did, I apologize. But in the last episode, we discussed the heart's relationship in evolution and its purpose, if that's any help. In this episode, I believe we might be in episode 5 of 7. I'm just doing this so it's easy for you in case you can't figure out if you listen to this video yet. Because all those thumbnails, it gets a little confusing. And I'm an artist, so I like them to be pretty. I don't like those ones with faces and lots of noise on them. And I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. And who says you have to do everything the way everyone else does, right? We're pioneering here. So let's see what she brings forward in this episode, and I'm very curious for the end when she gives us some sort of healing tool or something we can do for the next year and a half to work through and keep a balanced heart during the rest of the year and a half of the Divine Feminine increase coming in that comes online into our interim spirit bodies January 2027. And then it's here, but it's percolating in, and it's in the white-yellow consciousness healing band this year. Next year it'll be in the blue-green band, but that's stirring up a lot of consciousness stuff in people. And so that tool, I'm going to use it. Let's see what it is. Okay, let's see what she says today. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light, Azali, in your cosmic service. So we are connected, and we are here, and we're happy to be with you, and we're going to continue this series. And today we're going to talk about how the heart has a relationship to the Creator. So, over 95% of the world, 95, 93, 98, depends who did the statistics, but it's always in the 90s, believes in a higher power. Whether you call it God, Allah, the Supreme Being, Buddha, whatever name you want to use, the Gaia Matra, the big one. Different religions have different names. But from our perspective, it's all the same God. And we use the word Supreme Being because in your earlier history you worshipped gods and deities. So we saved those terms for that. And so did this healing school that this one went to. They did the same thing. And we do that. It's easier. You can use any word you want. So whenever we say the word Supreme Being or Creator, use the word that works for you. But those two words mostly don't light people up. Certain people will be lit up by certain religious words. They have a block there, or a past life experience that was very hard for them. And they have a feeling that it's not a safe place, so they get upset up with certain words, and they don't know why. And they have a logical explanation for it, with lots of reasoning, but it's not on a logical level. Okay, so in this episode, the idea that your heart is connected to the Creator needs some explanation. First of all, how would we explain the Creator and how we're trying to explain it in this episode? We would describe the Creator as a key that opens locks. That it has the primary keys that opens locks to allow things to happen. And those keys are not turned by other than anything by what we call the divine intelligence of the Creator. It's what opens the lock. It's the key that opens the locks that allows healing forces and evolution to go forward. And every planetary system that becomes enlightened has a connection to the Creator. And that's the way it is. So the Creator has its creational aspects in the planetary system. And when you come as a soul to this planet and you hook into the planetary system, you hook into the Creator's divine intelligence of the system. And your soul evolves within that divine intelligence. And that divine intelligence has a pathway in the heart field, which is what we've said before, that women are connected very profoundly out in the greater field through their heart and divine intelligence. Men have a connection through the Christ grid, through the human consciousness grid in the group higher self spirit body that you all evolved with. That's where their divine feminine creational energy is. It's not all the way down to the physical body because they're not birthing the souls. So there's a great design within having the two sexes. And as we've said, you will be divided in two sexes for the majority of your earthly evolution. And at the end, you become androgynous again, as you were when you came here. Okay, so not to go too many tangents, but so the heart is connected to the creational levels, it's connected to the creator, and it's connected to divine intelligence. And that means that your heart is able to produce profound healing and profound creating through that connection. And your heart is connected to the creator in the benevolent and golden akashas and the benevolent spirit body that is coming online that we mentioned before. Now let us back up. The creator has always been in the benevolent akash on the human consciousness grid and the interim Christ grid. And that is what drives people forward in prayer, meditation, and healing up until now, from the Lemurian time till now, if you're willing to look at the perspective of our history overlapping your history in co-creating. So that was very good, and that was the system. And now it moves over to off a pain body to a benevolent feeling body. And that requires some new connections and new upgrades. So one of these things that is happening in the Great Shift is that the heart field, feeling nature, is getting an upgrade for greater feeling of the divine intelligence of the Creator. And that's kind of weird, because who knew that there was a feeling of the divine intelligence of the Creator? But it's that one feeling that people have within them when they know that God is real. It comes through that pathway. And that's the best way we can describe it. Because there comes a point in evolution of a soul in a higher self in human bodies where they go, they know that there is a God. And that's why there's so few atheists on the planet, because they're just working through those stages. No disrespect to anyone's belief systems. We're just describing the system from our perspective. So let's be clear about that. Your consciousness might have a different viewpoint, and that's okay. The point is to come to a spiritual information open, listen, and see if there's anything that rings true with you. And if it's not ringing true, move on. So the system of the heart and its connections to the Creator does allow feelings to come through. And we recently said that there's a benevolent, it's not an akash, but there's a benevolent bunch of feelings out in the greater field in the soul group level. And this is new information, that there's a way for benevolent feelings to come from the greater field into soul groups. So that when a group of people are working something, they have a group good feeling. And this is new. And it has to do with your evolution into unity consciousness. Sorry, there's a little hair somewhere sort of in her eye. And it has to do with the evolution into unity consciousness. From going from a tri-unity to a one unity. From going from individual consciousness to a group consciousness. From going to a group individual higher self to an individual group higher self. And that's kind of a way to describe the Great Shift. So there are going to be upgrades that'll happen in 2026 to the human consciousness grid and the interim Christ grid and the greater field to allow those benevolent feelings of the group level in the greater field to be felt in group work. And that's profound. So the heart connection to the Creator out in the greater field, in that feeling nature, is also more connected to that divine intelligence that is the key. So what does this mean? It means as you continue through evolution, your ability to co-create with the Creator in your heart field, where the creational energy is, increases. And eventually, a lot of the creational systems that make up a planet, with the trees blooming and the animals coming through and being created, all of that, you do that. Everything that is happening on this planet will be created through you. There's a primer, which we called kind of like the outline, the divine blueprint, but the details that you create through that divine blueprint, the group of souls on this planet will be creating, as we do on our planet now. And when you get to that point, if you were to go to our planet and see our planet, you'd be like, wow, they did a really cool job. I wonder what we'll do. So you go to all these enlightened planets and everyone is different. And everyone has unique qualities, just as you, each of you as an individual person and an individual soul, is completely unique and different than any other soul. And yet, at the group level, everyone's similar. Every enlightened planet is completely individual and of its own character, and yet the soup of it is the same for all. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So this is what we wanted you to know this day. And in the next is, this one's already asking the question in the background. So where do those benevolent feelings from the greater field come from? And she thinks she already knows. And we're going to see if that's right in the next episode. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu.